Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke Empath, and I just like doing these little talks and the way I feel about things. That's a little bit better. Adjust stuff. Things a little bit brighter. God, I feel dark, man. It's all about shadow work today, yeah. It's all about shadow work. It's all the freaking uncovering I've been doing. Peculiar last 24 hours. For me, I hope you're all doing well. Had a couple deer. Opened up the door last night to a couple deer. Yesterday, and I was talking to Mom, so I was like loud, and so I opened the deer and spooked them, and then they ran off. But so I looked that up and was reminded of what that means, because a lot of stuff I don't retain. I'm not gonna know all the totem animals and stuff like that. Anyway, so then last night I had a peculiar occurrence. Tucker got up at an unscheduled time. They're all patterns. They all do the same things. They eat pretty much the same time-ish. But anyway, so he got up I went to lay down to go to sleep about 10, and I was really ready to go to sleep, and freaking Tucker got up, and I was like, alright, we're up. I'm up because you're up, so let's go. And then Artie went out too, because he's nosy. Freaking then go down to the end of the fence on the creeks where the creek is, and I see a black dot, and I was like, oh shit, no. And then it's funny because I asked myself, I wonder, because I'm like, I figure it's gonna bound to happen at one point. There's gonna be a skunk there when we go outside, and that was it. So last night was the night. It's like, do we make this happen, or do we foresee it happen? We'll never know. But possibilities of things always exist. So anyway, and so and then they saw it about the same instant I saw it, and I was like, crap. So didn't instantly tried not to freaking tie an outcome on to that situation. Just freaking went over the fence, called Artie off. Artie, go! I'm like yelling, and then Tucker gets like really close to him, and that skunk turned around, freaking tail up, 10 hut, ready. He felt threatened. I'm like, dude, little buddy, don't feel threatened. And I grabbed Tucker by the side, and I just tipped him over like a cow. It was awful. I hated it, because he got scared, and then he ran off, or I got to drag him away from the skirt, and there was no spray. Thank God there was no spray. That skunk did not spray either of those dogs. Because freaking the water situation, it was 10 o'clock at night. I didn't freaking know what would I have done if they would have freaking had to smell skunk smell all night long. So, thanks. That's a blessing. I recognize the blessings in my life. So, anyway, I was just having to talk to Mom, and I was watching a video this morning with Connie Zweig, Zweig, from a talk back in July 27, 2018, and it's on the Theosophical Society page, and I was like, Mom, you ever heard of this my mouth isn't going to cooperate. This society, and she's like, no, I've never heard of it. I'm like, their ideas are a lot like mine. I just didn't know that, people hung out and did conferences about it. Didn't know, not surprised, just didn't know. Now I know. So, I'm like, they talk a lot about shadow work and stuff, and I was just listening to her talk and just letting my mind wander on shadow work, and I got to clean some stuff and cry about some stuff because it makes sense, and it's not just the fact that it makes sense, it's that I, finding more and more people, it's become, my ideas are pretty mainstream. It's just the people connecting is hard to do because of algorithms and crap like that. So, and plus, but I'm always looking. I Google weird stuff, like people that like, this, and, meetup spaces. I'm always trying to connect. I'm in IT. I have a mind for problem solving. That's what I do, is I make connections and network. That's what we all do. That's what we live to do anyway. So I was telling her about this shadow work, and I'm like, what I'm finding is is, well, everybody has a shadow, everybody has their light, but most people suppress their shadow. And if they're just allowed to freely speak on their desires or things like, because people get charged up like by weird stuff, turns them on, like anger and stuff like that. And and if they could talk, but these things are identifiable at a young age. I see this in kids. I see the potential of how their behaviors are going to lead them one day. I think a lot of people just ignore it and deny the shadow. And what happens is freaking, if you don't acknowledge it, see, I always did it because I always had people tell me to be still and be things that I wasn't, you know, truthful. Marge, be quiet. Marge, be still. Marge, people always wanted me to so what happened is my shadow got dark, or my shadow grew. And then when I found alcohol and I discovered that alcohol removes your shadow, sometimes when people, they remove their shadow, or they remove their spirit by replacing alcohol, and the shadow steps in, and then they act out in the ways that they desire, they really want to act, their natural desires when they're drinking, you know. Then you got cover-ups, and then you got freaking people recording people and using that for blackmail, and then you have, the world that we live in now because people have denied their shadow. You okay, bud? You alright, bud? So, I'm trying to help people acknowledge their shadow. Come here, bud. You okay? Come to say hi. He said, Marge, you're doing a video. What's it, beanie? I'm a lighter, bright, and I'm not a shadow. I'm a lighter, brighter beanie. You gonna yawn for us, big boy? Yeah. Anyway, so people are coming into their it's okay to have the desire, and that's the thing is I don't judge people for having the freaking desires and stuff they have because I know where they come from. But we do have free will, and people have to discipline themselves. And you don't do things to harm other people, and you don't do things to take other people's light. And if that's a dissidence in you, believe it or not, I believe that people can remove that dissidence. They just got to put in the work and the effort, and not do the stuff, a lot of the same behaviors, And people that are always too good, I always question those folks, man, that never have any. I can always see, like, I can see the people that are abused. I know that how people overcompensate, and those are the ones that I worry about because those are the ones that kind of pass on the shadow, and but more people are figuring this out, and it's getting pretty exciting to me because I like hanging out with people and being social and stuff like that. And I think I'd be a good speaker. I've spoke before. I got my talk on a tape and a CD, my story, So I see it now, and then I started listening to, because sometimes you get frustrated, but then I gotta appreciate what I got, when I start getting frustrated, I gotta remember, Mark, your gratitude is so important all the time, and then when the shadow stuff starts coming in, I'm like, where's the gratitude, Well, okay, address that, modify it, pull the pistons, push the lever, whatever. Oh, the good boy. He's like, yeah, Marge, the business is getting in a good mood. So, shadow work's coming up, and that's what all this astrology is doing. It's making people. Oh, and that's another thing is, it's interesting that because we come full circle, and whatever shadows, whatever little boys or girls that burned ants when they're kids and got a twisted little thrill out of it, and they suppress that shadow side of it. Now they're the ones that are freaking really high up, But the higher up you get, the harder the fall. So, ugh. Ouch. I know what it feels like to fall down. I've fallen down a lot in my life. It's part of the physics of it all. So, anyway, where am I at? I think I'm gonna keep this short for now. I'm gonna go clean Benzo's ear. So, hope you have a good morning. Peace.